Hello everyone! Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing fine by God's will. It's good to see you here. If you haven't done so, don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell so you remain updated. Now let's talk about something that's shaking up the world of sister wives like never before. For over 10 years, fans have followed Kody Brown and his big, complicated plural family. We've seen everything from joyful weddings and new babies to painful arguments and major breakups. But this latest twist, it might just be the most shocking one yet. In accordance with family insiders, Kody Brown might have caught Robyn secretly dating another man. Yes, that's correct. Robyn, the one wife who remained loyal to him after the rest walked out on him. So what actually transpired? Who is this enigmatic man? And what does it imply for Kody and Robyn's already troubled relationship? Let's decode it all. The calm before the storm. Over the last few years, the Brown family has been put through hell. Christine infamously left Kody in 2021. And it wasn't long after that Janelle and Mary did the same. That left Robyn as the sole wife remaining in the fold, the sole thread keeping in place what was once a large polygamous marriage. In public, Kody and Robyn presented a united front. They asserted they were content. Despite many fans accusing Robyn of being the favorite wife, Kody even professed at a season 18 tell-all. "She's the love of my life." But behind closed doors, everything wasn't as sweet. According to a source close to the family, Kody began to become more possessive and controlling. Robyn, who had thought she'd finally have Kody's undivided attention, felt trapped. She thought being the only wife translated into more love, the insider said, but instead, Kody became more jealous and paranoid. Enter the mystery man. Around a year later, when Janelle and Mary had departed, Robyn had started going out for what she referred to as her me time. She'd go to a nearby cafe every few days. Nothing out of the ordinary initially. But by summer, appearances were different. Robyn wasn't drinking alone anymore. She was frequently accompanied by a good-looking, well-dressed man. They'd sit together, whisper, laugh. It didn't appear platonic. One of the regulars at the cafe reported, "It didn't seem platonic at all. This man, reportedly named Marcus, works in real estate. He and Robyn met when she needed help with some financial matters, and according to insiders, they clicked right away. She felt seen for the first time in years." One source shared. Kody grows suspicious. Initially, Kody did not pay much attention to Robyn's escapades. But when she began dressing up more, staying out later, and hiding her phone, he became suspicious. He started questioning her, checking on her phone, and finally he tailed her. One source indicated that Kody confronted her several times, but Robyn denied that anything was going on. "I just need space. Why don't you trust me?" she allegedly said to him. Nevertheless, Kody couldn't help but feel that something was happening. And then there was the breaking point. The confrontation one evening in the spring. Kody trailed Robyn to a high-end restaurant about 45 minutes outside of Flagstaff. She entered with her hands held by Marcus. A waiter who was present said that Kody charged in and made a huge scene. "Y estaba gritando, chamando a de mentirosa y de trapacera," the waiter remembered. Robyn teared up and Marcus attempted to step in and mediate. The argument spilled outside, where it became even more intense. Security was needed to pull the two men apart. "They were both red-faced and shouting," said a witness. Robyn was apparently just standing there, crying. Robyn's side of the story. In the following days, Robyn is said to have moved out and lived with friends. As told by a family friend, she subsequently gave this statement, "I didn't intend for it to happen. I was lonely. Kody has not been himself in years. Marcus heard me out. He made me feel heard." She did admit there was an attraction, but said it hadn't become physical yet. "I was not trying to hurt Kody. I simply could not live in that house as a prisoner anymore," she explained. Kody's fury and Kody. He was said to be heartbroken and angry. "He's humiliated," said a source. "He left 3 wives for her." Kody never really thought Robyn was the one, his true love, the only one of all of the women who did not leave. But now, he's telling friends, according to reports, that she betrayed him, just like the others. As per family sources, Kody has been calling and texting Robyn constantly. One minute he's pleading with her to return, the next he's blaming her for destroying their family. He believes his entire life was a lie, the insider revealed. And frankly, considering everything he sacrificed for her, you can see why this would be a hard pill to swallow. How the family is reacting. Once the news spread regarding the fiery restaurant life, the rest of the family had something to say as well. Christine, being no shrinking violet, allegedly said to a friend, "Karma always comes back around." He made his choices. Now he's finally feeling what we all felt. Janelle, always the voice of reason, stepped forward with a little more empathy. Particularly for Robyn. "She's not innocent," she said. "But she's been under a lot of pressure. Kody's been impossible to live with." Mary, on the other hand, she hasn't spoken out publicly. But insiders claim she just shook her head and said, "Finally he knows what betrayal feels like." And with that, she walked away. Who is Marcus, and who is this man that's shaken Robyn's world? His name is said to be Marcus, and though there is still much that we do not know of him, here's what has been said up until now. He's in his early 40s, is a recent newcomer to the neighborhood, and is not a member of the Browns' religious group. Neighbors say he's charming, courteous, and articulate. A friend in common introduced Marcus to Robyn when she was in a bind about some property and tax problems. They met for coffee. And well, one thing led to another. As one source says, it wasn't planned, but the chemistry was undeniable. What now? Currently Robyn hasn't gone back to the house she used to share with Kody. Instead, she's allegedly staying in a nearby rental property, giving things some time to process. Kody meanwhile has reportedly been in touch with attorneys, trying to determine what his legal recourse is. He's hurt, but he's angry too. A family insider said, he feels like she owes him everything he gave up in order to be with her. In a shocking turn of events, Kody has also apparently begun reaching out to Janelle and Mary with apologies. But people close to the situation aren't sure if that's coming from a place of genuine remorse, or if it's just a desperate attempt to save face now that the spotlight's on him. Robyn speaks out. Robyn, on her side, sent a sincere message to one of her close family friends. "I never intended to fall in love with someone else," she allegedly said. "I loved Kody more than anything. But he changed. He stopped viewing me as a partner, and began treating me like property." She added that Marcus made her feel like herself again, like she still counted as a person. In spite of all of this, Robyn hasn't made a definitive decision regarding breaking up with Kody. "I need time," she explained. "I don't know if I'll ever be able to trust him again, but I don't want to hurt my kids either." Fans react. The Sister Wives fan community had lots to say, and as usual, social media came alive. One Twitter follower commented, "Wow, Robyn was always villainized, but perhaps she was held captive also. This is crazy." Another tweeted, "Kody abandoned 3 wives for Robyn, and now she cheats on him. You can't make this up." On Reddit, however, fans were more direct. One wrote, "At this point I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up alone and bitter, blaming everyone except himself. And what about the kids?" In the middle of all the sorrow, there is one thing everybody agrees on. Worry about the children. Robyn's children are in the middle of it all, and as the dust settles, their welfare is one of the biggest remaining question marks. Robyn's kids are understandably agitated and perplexed. They love their dad, according to a family source, but they've seen how miserable their mom has been for quite some time now. Robyn has sat them down and guaranteed she won't be making any rash decisions. Regardless of what happens between her and Kody, she's guaranteed them they'll still be close to their father. Kody struggles to cope. Recent weeks have found Kody roaming the streets of Flagstaff looking disoriented, obviously troubled. An insider close to the family reports he's been relying on a few close friends, trying to figure out how it all went so wrong. He really believed Robyn would never abandon him, the insider revealed, but now it's hitting him. He might have driven all the people in his life away, and it might be too late to salvage things. Robyn's crossroads. Love or loyalty? And as for Robyn, insiders reveal she's torn between 2 mighty forces. Her long-standing devotion to family and her blossoming love for Marcus. She still has feelings for Kody, reveals a pal. But she also knows she deserves happiness as well. For the first time in years, she feels alive again. Marcus on his end is said to be giving her time to get her things in order. He told her he doesn't want to pressure her. The friend elaborated. But he also said he'll be there if she chooses him. TLC's response. And what's next though? TLC hasn't commented publicly. Sources predict the network is already preparing to weave this real-life drama into future episodes of Sister Wives. This is ratings gold. One production source conceded. Fans have been waiting for Kody to get in trouble. And now it's finally occurring. Production is still filming, and fans can look forward to seeing this raw emotion play out on TV in the next few months. This could be the most explosive season ever, said the source. Everything that people believed they knew about Kody and Robyn is about to be turned on its head. The deteriorating foundation. For years, the fans criticized Kody for favoring Robyn, thinking he abandoned his other wives to pursue her. But now, the very marriage he invested all in might be on the verge of collapse. Whether Robyn chooses to remain with Kody, start anew with Marcus, or take time to determine what's best for herself, one thing is certain: the Brown household will never be the same. Sister-wife scandal. Robyn and her kids told to vacate the house. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, yet another bombshell. Insider sources and eyewitnesses report Kody Brown has filed for bankruptcy. And following that, Robyn and her kids have reportedly been told to vacate the house they share with him. Yes, you heard correctly. Following all the emotional histrionics, now comes the fiscal meltdown. This tragic turn comes after months of whispers of the family's financial woes, strained relationships, and growing public condemnation. So what went wrong? Let's take a closer examination of the events that culminated in Kody's bankruptcy, and the stunning move to evict Robyn and her kids. The beginning of the end. For years, viewers have witnessed Kody try to keep his plural marriage afloat with Mary, Janelle, Christine and Robyn. But slowly, one at a time, the wives left, reportedly, because of everything from emotional abandonment and financial stress, to feeling unlistened to and unloved. By 2022, there was just one left behind, Kody's final wife, both legally and spiritually. It initially appeared as though the two of them would finally have their peace. But in private, the finances of the family were plummeting. Decades of overspending, unpaid property taxes, and accumulating legal fees had caught up. Even before the divorces began, the Browns were struggling to keep up on multiple mortgages on different pieces of property. When Christine departed, she walked away with nearly nothing, according to reports. Janelle fought to get back money she had put into the family, and Mary dealt with financial hardships. Kody and Robyn, in the meantime, just went on as normal, a lifestyle they couldn't afford. Insiders reveal that Kody couldn't keep up with the lifestyle they were used to. He spent thousands on Coyote Pass, the property he bought years ago with dreams of creating a huge family compound. But that never panned out. The property sat vacant, and the property taxes alone cost tens of thousands of dollars each year. And with show money rolling in decreasingly, the Browns just couldn't keep up. Audiences saw that despite the departure of the other wives, Kody and Robyn remained in their gigantic Flagstaff residence, while money reality slowly spiraled out of control. A house too big, and a dream that crumbled. The house that Kody and Robyn shared, worth more than $900,000, was more of a headache than a blessing. Viewers watching the show couldn't help but ask, how in the world can Kody afford that house if the other wives are living in tiny rentals? Well, according to sources, the answer is easy: he couldn't. The breaking point: earlier this year, however, things came to a head. Ratings for the show had begun to slip, legal expenses were piling up, and unpaid taxes were mounting. Kody reportedly was facing the threat of foreclosure. By spring, creditors were everywhere. An insider revealed. Calls, letters, it was non-stop. He tried to keep it from Robyn at first, but she eventually found out. Outside, Robyn was calm. Inside, however, she seethed. She thought they were fine. The source went on. She thought they were different, that they were safe. But she had no concept of how deeply in debt they actually were. Bankruptcy becomes reality. By the end of spring, Kody had no option. He met with a bankruptcy lawyer, and came to the decision to file for Chapter 13. This was a form of bankruptcy that would allow him to reschedule his debts, but it was expensive. they'd have to sacrifice the home. Humiliating, someone close to Kody said. He always thought of himself as the provider, the head of the household. But now he couldn't even provide a roof over their heads. Court filings allegedly revealed hundreds of thousands in debts, anything from delinquent taxes and charge card payments to foreclosed on mortgages and lawyer bills. By the early summer, the bankruptcy was finalized, and the repercussions were immediate. The eviction, maybe the most difficult shock of all, was the eviction notice that Robyn and the children received. According to the terms of the bankruptcy, the Flagstaff house had to be turned over to creditors. It came on a balmy July morning. Witnesses described Robyn emerging from the house in tears. The children were frightened and bewildered, wondering if they had done something wrong. Movers showed up and started packing their stuff. Witnesses tell us Kody was in attendance, but kept his distance. He seemed cold. A neighbor said. He just continued repeating, "It's not my fault. I did everything I could." Robyn's desperation. Robyn, heartbroken, begged Kody, witnesses say, to fight for the house, to do whatever it took, anyway, to stay. But Kody explained to her that there was nothing else he could do. She was saying, "Where are we going? What about the kids?" A source remembered. But Kody sat silently, gazing at the floor. Friends describe Robyn as feeling utterly abandoned. "She sacrificed everything for him," said one close friend. "Her independence, her dignity, even her reputation. And now she and her kids are being kicked out, with nothing to show for it." The suffering of the children among all the tragedy. The suffering of the children is perhaps the worst. That home was not just four walls. It was where they first felt safe. It was the first time they felt stable, said a family friend. Now they're being uprooted again. Neighbors said they saw the kids quietly assisting pack boxes and carry clothes to the car. One of them even asked, "Are we going to be homeless?" "It was gut-wrenching," said one witness. Where did they go? Robyn and the kids, according to reports, moved into a small rental apartment on the outskirts of town after the eviction. It's a world away from the spacious house they were evicted from. "It's tight. She's humiliated," a friend close to her commented. "She doesn't even want anyone to see her like this." Robyn has been relying on friends and relatives to get by while she gets her next move together. She's doing her best to be a rock for her children, but in her head she's unraveling. Kody's state of mind. And as for Kody, sources reveal he's been oscillating between raging tantrums and profound despair. He's lashing out, a source spilled, blaming everyone, his wives, the government, even the kids, anyone but himself. Witnesses have seen him walking by himself on the Coyote Pass property, talking to himself and appearing lost. He still thinks he can somehow fix it, the source revealed. But at this point, he's lost everything. The other wives react. When word of the bankruptcy and eviction came out, reactions from the other wives weren't quite akin to shock. Christine, while sympathetic, wasn't surprised. "She saw this coming a long time ago," said a friend. "She always told people Kody was living way beyond his means." Janelle, she was a bit more blunt. "He made his bed." When the news broke, Janelle didn't sugarcoat. Her response was straightforward. "An insider says he made his bed. Now he has to lie in it." Mary, on the other hand, displayed a more tender aspect, at least with Robyn. Insiders say she messaged privately, saying to Robyn, "I know what it feels like to be discarded." A brief, moving note from someone who really gets that kind of hurt. Fans weigh in. The Sister Wives fandom has been abuzz with responses. One Twitter user opined, "Robyn thought she won when the others left. Now she's paying the price." One Reddit discussion captured it bluntly. "This is what happens when you treat your family like disposable pawns." But several fans also empathized with Robyn's children. "They didn't ask for any of this." One of them said, "They're the real victims here." TLC has not publicly addressed the bankruptcy or eviction, yet insiders report that producers are already busy weaving the drama into next season. "It's sad but juicy," the production insider said. "This is the kind of real-world drama that keeps viewers coming back." Will Robyn stay or walk away? Robyn is at a juncture here. According to friends, she's overwhelmed, weighing whether or not she can continue to stand by Kody after all that's occurred. She feels disappointed, the friend revealed. But she's also afraid to start over. After all these years, how do you start over? Nevertheless, some insiders feel that she could ultimately decide to leave and start anew. "She's beginning to see she doesn't need to go down with his ship," the friend said. Kody's next step. As for Kody, in spite of it all, he hasn't lost faith. Insiders claim that he's discussing penning a book, starting a podcast, perhaps even embarking on a speaking tour in an attempt to restore his image. He's still attempting to make something out of what's left, a source explained. But no one has an idea if he'll really do it, or if anyone will even care if he does. The end of the family as we knew it now. That the family is dispersed and the essential relationships broken, the fate of the Brown clan hangs in the balance than ever before. Kody believed keeping Robyn in the family would keep the name alive, a source explained. But now he is alone and broke. Who knows what's next? For some viewers, this is the end of a cautionary tale. They lived as if they were invincible. One person commented on social media, but you can only defy reality for so long. Others are praying for peace, for Robyn and particularly for her children. They deserve better, said one fan. All of them, the photo of Robyn and her children, sobbing out of their Flagstaff house, will be remembered. Years of drama, betrayals and heartache may be behind the Browns, but now they must endure perhaps their greatest challenge ever, beginning anew after having lost nearly everything. Whether or not Kody and Robyn can rebuild, together or apart, is yet to be determined. But this much is certain, the family we knew is never going to be the same. New explosions. Kody blows up at Janelle and Mary, over property, just when it didn't seem like things could get any more heated. Yet another family showdown blew up. Sources tell us that Kody Brown recently had a fiery fight with Janelle and Mary over the long-contested Coyote Pass property. The problem? They want him to transfer the deed. What started as an uncomfortable discussion apparently escalated into a full-fledged shouting match, complete with accusations, hurt feelings and emotional pyrotechnics. Insiders say the argument shook everyone to their core, and may have irreparably broken any chance of reconciliation. The land that tore them asunder, Coyote Pass, was to be the Browns' utopia, a stunning parcel of land in Flagstaff, Arizona, upon which Kody dreamed of constructing a family compound, each wife's home, yet all side by side. He peddled the dream, spelled out oneness, guaranteed safety, but that dream started to unravel. Christine departed in 2021, starting a new life in Utah. Janelle and Mary followed suit not long afterward, each of them growing weary of what they perceived as Kody's favoritism toward Robyn and his growing control. Even after they drifted apart from him, one giant question remained. Who really owns what portion of Coyote Pass? The tipping point earlier this spring, Janelle and Mary apparently reached out to Kody and asked to sit down and settle the matter once and for all. They just wanted what was theirs, an insider said. Janelle and Mary had had enough. They'd invested years of their lives and tens of thousands of dollars on that land in Coyote Pass. Now they simply wanted what they believed was fair. They invested their money, their time and their trust. One insider shared. They weren't going to walk away empty-handed. Janelle, who'd even resided in an RV on the property once, was particularly fired up. She'd worked diligently her entire life, and wasn't going to let all that effort be for nothing. Mary, too, wanted closure. After all the years of feeling shoved aside, she was ready at last to make her own way. And both women were in accord. It was time to face Kody man to man. The showdown at Coyote Pass, as witnessed by various eyewitnesses. The confrontation occurred on a bright sunny afternoon, directly on the Coyote Pass property. Janelle and Mary arrived in unison, armed with documents in hand. Kody was already present, standing near one of the ancient surveyor stakes that had long defined the dream of a polygamous family unit. Initially it was civil, but certainly tense. They wanted Kody to sign the deed over to them for their portion of the land. No funny business, just a piece of paper to make it official. But Kody did not react well. He became defensive almost immediately, an insider told us. He began telling them, "This is my property. I purchased it. You're attempting to steal from me." Janelle patiently reminded him that she'd paid hundreds of thousands toward the land, funds that she could have invested in purchasing her own home somewhere else. Mary interjected that she'd waited long enough already, and she also deserved her fair share. Emotions boil over. As the argument went on, there was increasing tension. Witnesses report that Kody started pacing up and down, flailing his arms and shouting. He said Janelle and Mary were ganging up on him, that they were selfish and ungrateful, and even that they were out to ruin the family name. That's when Janelle had had enough. "You already ruined this family, Kody," she was quoted as saying. Not us. Mary supported her, stating, "We're just asking for what's fair. Why is that so hard for you?" Kody, based on one witness, yelled, "Because it's mine. This is all I have left, and you're trying to take it from me." Even the neighbors heard the fight was so intense that neighbors allegedly heard the shouting from houses close by. It sounded like an all-out brawl, one neighbor reported. There was yelling, and at one point I could have sworn I heard somebody sobbing. Others said they saw Kody run out in anger, only to come back within minutes and resume arguing. Legal lines drawn. It got even worse when Janelle and Mary threatened legal action. Sources explained that they told Kody they didn't want lawyers brought in, but they would, if need be. They let him know they weren't going anywhere, a source revealed. But Kody dismissed it, scoffing, according to reports. "Go ahead, call up your lawyers. See what happens to you." Robyn stays out, or does she? Surprisingly missing from the entire showdown, Robyn. She did not attend the meeting, sources close to her revealed. She said it was between Kody and his ex-wives, said a source. But those who know Janelle and Mary well are not convinced she's as indifferent as she claims. "She's pulling the strings," said one friend. "She doesn't want Kody sharing anything with the other wives. She's the puppet master behind the curtain." The confrontation at Coyote Pass might have been over that afternoon, but the feelings remained. Witnesses described Janelle and Mary departing the property visibly upset, but heads held high. They stormed off angry, certainly, an insider revealed, but they also knew they had done the right thing. Even if Kody doesn't sign the deed now, they're prepared to go to court if needed. They're not going to back down. As for Kody, he supposedly hung around by himself on the property, talking to himself. One witness said that he looked utterly defeated, slumped shoulders, eyes scanning around him like he couldn't believe what had just transpired. How the family responded. It didn't take long for news of the argument to get around the Brown family. Christine, now happily remarried and living a new life, reportedly said, "I'm proud of Janelle and Mary for standing up for themselves." Janelle's kids, many of whom have been openly critical of how their father treated her over the years, were quick to support her. "He treated Mom like a doormat," one of her sons reportedly said. "It's about time she stood up to him." Even some of Mary's relatives, who've been skeptical of Kody for a long time, expressed relief that she was finally standing up for herself. Fans weigh in. As always, Sister Wives fans had plenty to say online. "Go Janelle and Mary. Take what's yours," one Twitter user wrote. "Kody doesn't deserve that land." Over on Reddit, a post captured the emotional symbolism. "This land has been a metaphor for their whole marriage, promises broken, dreams unfulfilled." Another fan added, "It's sad it had to come to this, but let's be honest, Kody brought it on himself." What the lawyers say. Legal experts have begun chiming in too. According to them, the outcome will largely depend on who's listed on the official deed, and whether verbal agreements or financial records can prove Janelle and Mary contributed. If they can prove that they've put money into the land, they might have a case, one lawyer said, but it won't be a slam dunk. Kody's state of mind. Sources tell us in the days following the confrontation, Kody has been simmering, seething and sulking. He feels betrayed. He feels like they're ganging up on him, one insider said, like they're trying to humiliate him. Others claim Kody is even talking about selling the land outright, just to ensure that they don't get any of it. "He's so stubborn," the source continued. "He'd rather lose everything than concede." Janelle and Mary aren't backing down, but Janelle and Mary, they're not budging. "They've had enough," said someone close to the family. "They're not going to let him walk all over them anymore." Mary has been quoted as saying, "Friends, she wished she had confronted Kody earlier. She said she wasted too many years waiting for him to do the right thing," a friend told us. The kids have something to say. Even the Brown kids are chiming in, many taking their mother's sides. One of Janelle's daughters, "He bought that land using our money. He owes us." But some of the children are simply devastated over the increasing rift. "I just want everybody to be friendly," one allegedly said. Cameras were rolling and yes, sources claim the whole altercation was filmed. So chances are, fans will get to see the raw, unedited moment in a future season of Sister Wives. "This is real drama," a producer allegedly claimed. "Fans are going to get the truth. What happens now?" Since the days of its release, Janelle and Mary have been said to have consulted lawyers and begun the process to stake their claim on Coyote Pass. They're prepared for a battle. A source close to the situation told the Inquirer. But they're also hoping Kody gets his act together and signs on the dotted line. Kody's options are limited in the analysis of legal experts. Kody has 3 actual options: negotiate a settlement, fight it out in court, or sell the land for good. But people close to him say he's not someone who would compromise easily. "He's too proud," replied one close friend. "He views this as a personal attack, not a property dispute." The final nail? With bonds already frayed, this showdown could be the final nail in the coffin, a turning point. They'll never be the same again after this. An insider claimed, this was the last nail in the coffin. The Browns used to imagine a harmony of being together, of forging a future there on that property in Flagstaff. But now, that land is a reminder of everything gone wrong, of shattered trust, lost time, and obstinate pride. The question is, can Kody release his pride and do the right thing? Or is it already too late?